All right, buckle up because we're about to dive into some eye-opening market predictions. Tom Lee, the brains behind Fundstrat's research, just dropped a bold forecast. He says the market is hitting its lowest point this week. Yes, you heard that right. If the recent dips have you sweating, hold tight, because according to Lee, a major turnaround could be just around the corner. So, what's fueling this optimism? Why does Lee believe we're on the verge of a market rebound? Today, we're breaking down his 3 key reasons, and trust me, you'll want to hear this. Plus, later in the video, I'm revealing a high upside penny stock for 2025, Hub Cybersecurity Limited, ticker HUBC. We'll dig into their latest financials, growth potential, and whether it deserves a spot in your portfolio.
Some of the underpinnings are in for a real bottom, for a tradable bottom or a real bottom?
Yeah, I mean, both. I mean, obviously it doesn't feel this way because over the weekend futures came under pressure, but we know markets are really oversold. We know that investors have had a lot of de-risking. And this week, I think into April 2nd, investors have 3 things on their minds. One is they just don't know what the tariffs look like. They don't know if it's going to damage the economy. And I think third, many are just a little terrified of the policies of the White House. But post-Wednesday, I think markets are going to have some visibility, and that allows us to take some of the selling pressure off. So, yes, I think it's possible that instead of us breaking down here and seeing markets under further pressure, we're actually got the right pieces for a bottom.
Buy, though, into this without knowing what's on the other side of it? That is the fundamental question that people are sitting around trying to figure out today and tomorrow.
That's right. It's an interminable wait for people because it is still 3 days, and they're fearful that we could have 3 days of down 2%. But I kind of agree with Larry Fink. I think the U.S. is going to come out of this okay. I mean, Brexit's an example. Brexit happened, and the U.K. economy emerged okay. It didn't have a huge recession, and the stock market did okay. So for investors today, over the weekend, we had so many thinking the economy is going to completely fall off the rails after Wednesday.
Well, people are starting to say slowing growth and persistent inflation. So you put those together and you get the stagflation. Yeah, that's death for.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of distortions of the economy now, right? Because we know people are buying cars and wine ahead of tariffs, and that's creating inflation.
Hopefully, they're not doing it the same, cars and the wine.
Do you think it's pushing up our growth numbers that we're seeing at this point, between retail sales and other places, or is it too small to distort things on that great of a level?
I think it's possible economists are only dialing in the negative consequences so far, but not the positive, because rates are down and gasoline's down, and there could be some pull forward of demand. So we might end up having better growth, so less stag, and maybe the inflation stuff is more distorting, and so it's not as stagflationary.
Now, let's talk about Lee's bold call. He believes the market is oversold, with the S&P 500 recently plunging 10% into correction territory. But historically, when the market gets this stretched, it tends to snap back. Think of a rubber band pulled to its limit, ready to recoil with force. On top of that, a lot of fear-driven selling has already happened, meaning the downward pressure is easing. And finally, Lee argues that the fog of uncertainty is lifting. Investors have been spooked by economic worries, but as the dust settles, clarity is returning. So, does that mean now is the time to buy? According to Tom Lee, absolutely. He sees this as a tradable bottom, a golden opportunity to scoop up stocks before they rebound. History has shown time and time again, the best time to invest is often when fear is at its peak. By the way, if you're finding this analysis helpful, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel out. Oh, and if you've ever thought about adding gold to your portfolio, I've got a free gold IRA guide in the description below. I'll break down why it's worth a look at the end of this video. Now, let's talk about a real hidden gem with potential for huge growth in 2025, Hub Cybersecurity Limited. This Israeli cybersecurity company specializes in ultra-secure computing solutions, a must-have for governments, banks, and major corporations. In today's digital landscape, cybersecurity is more crucial than ever, and HUBC is positioning itself as a major player. With recent partnerships and ambitious expansion plans, this penny stock could experience massive growth as security becomes a top priority for businesses everywhere. Did you know that Israel, where Hub Cybersecurity is based, is often referred to as Startup Nation due to its incredibly high concentration of tech startups and innovation? Cyber threats are no longer something out of a sci-fi movie. They're a daily reality, growing more sophisticated by the minute. Hackers, cyber criminal groups, and even state-sponsored entities are launching relentless attacks, crippling companies, infiltrating government systems, and exposing the personal data of millions. From ransomware attacks that paralyze entire industries to devastating data breaches that compromise sensitive financial and medical information, the need for robust cybersecurity has never been more urgent. Businesses and institutions aren't just defending against basic malware anymore. They're fighting a continuous battle against intelligent, adaptive threats that can take down operations in seconds. This isn't just your standard cybersecurity, it's the next level of data security. The global cybersecurity market was valued at a staggering $245.6 billion in 2024 and is projected to grow at an impressive 12.9% annually from 2025 to 2030. Why? Because cyber threats are multiplying rapidly. Key factors driving this growth include the rise of e-commerce and cloud computing, the increasing use of IoT devices and smart technologies, heavy government investments in cybersecurity infrastructure, and businesses integrating AI-driven security solutions to combat cyber risks. In North America alone, the cybersecurity market accounted for over 34% of the revenue in 2024, thanks to major technological advancements and strict regulatory measures. Governments and corporations are prioritizing cybersecurity like never before, creating massive opportunities for industry leaders like Hub Cybersecurity Limited. Cybersecurity isn't just a necessity, it's an investment in the future. Some of the most promising growth areas include protecting sensitive data during processing, not just storage or transit, assuming all networks are vulnerable, and requiring strict verification for access, and using advanced AI models for rapid threat detection and prevention. As cloud adoption increases, so does the demand for strong security frameworks. Strict regulations worldwide, like GDPR and CCPA, are forcing businesses to enhance their security measures. Companies leading in these areas are set to benefit immensely, and this is where Hub Cybersecurity excels. Hub Cybersecurity Limited is a game changer in confidential computing and secure data fabric technology. Their unique platform isolates data and applications in secure environments, protecting sensitive information even when it's being used. Key features of their technology include a SaaS-based data hosting platform with robust encryption and insurance against cyber breaches, a revolutionary technology that creates digital replicas to divert attackers and simulate cyber threats, and multi-layered authentication assuming all networks are compromised. Hub Security already serves Fortune 500 companies, startups, and government agencies worldwide, making them a major player in this booming industry. In a strategic move to expand its AI-powered security offerings, Hub Cybersecurity acquired Black Swan Technologies. This acquisition is a significant development, positioning HUBC to tap into a projected $12.91 billion market by 2032. The deal enhances HUBC's ability to provide cutting-edge security and compliance solutions to banks, fintech companies, and governments. Hub Cybersecurity has been making strategic moves to strengthen its financial position and drive long-term growth. They successfully regained compliance with NASDAQ listing requirements, ensuring stability and investor confidence. They completed a 1-for-10 reverse share split to boost their share price and maintain market credibility. They secured $7 million in debt restructuring, improving their liquidity and financial stability. Hub Cybersecurity is undergoing a major transformation, and their first half of 2024 financial performance offers a clear picture of a company making strategic moves for long-term success. While the numbers reflect a period of transition, they also reveal a story of optimization, efficiency, and a sharper focus on high-growth opportunities. While revenue of $15.7 million represents a decline from previous periods, it's a deliberate shift. HUBC has moved away from lower-margin business segments to focus on core, high-value cybersecurity solutions, which is expected to yield stronger, more sustainable profitability going forward. Looking at their gross margin, there's a dramatic turnaround to 9.5%, up from 7.6% in the first half of 2023. This significant improvement demonstrates HUBC's commitment to refining their revenue streams and enhancing operational efficiency. By prioritizing high-margin offerings and phasing out less profitable operations, the company is laying the foundation for a more financially resilient future. This financial period saw a staggering 71% reduction in operating expenses. One of the most impressive aspects of HUBC's turnaround strategy is their aggressive cost-cutting measures. Management has streamlined operations, optimized resources, and eliminated inefficiencies, drastically reducing overhead and improving financial health. Operating loss was also reduced by 74%, a clear sign that HUBC's strategic restructuring is working. A year ago, high legal costs and operational inefficiencies weighed heavily on the company's balance sheet. Now, with a more disciplined approach, HUBC is steadily moving toward financial stability and long-term profitability. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the strategic moves behind them. HUBC has been decisively closing underperforming business units, shedding unnecessary burdens that no longer align with their vision. Simultaneously, they've taken a bold stance on debt reduction, successfully eliminating the majority of their high-cost debt and securing long-term refinancing with committed investors who believe in HUBC's future. These actions aren't just short-term fixes, they represent a well-calculated shift towards sustained profitability, aggressive expansion, and an even stronger competitive position in the cybersecurity industry. HUBC is no longer just restructuring, they're redefining themselves for long-term success. Looking ahead, Hub Cybersecurity is positioned for explosive growth. With a strong foothold in confidential computing, a solid financial restructuring plan, and an expanding client base across multiple industries, HUBC is set to become a dominant force in the cybersecurity market. Their secure data fabric platform is the company's primary growth engine, addressing the increasing compliance demands of financial institutions and enterprises. HUBC is building a world-class team, streamlining operations, and investing in cutting-edge solutions to maintain their competitive edge. With their robust technology, strategic acquisitions, and solid financial restructuring, Hub Cybersecurity Limited is more than just another cybersecurity company. They're a force shaping the future of data protection. HUBC is a stock to watch, and their journey is just beginning. So, what are your thoughts? Are you ready to capitalize on this potential market bottom? And are you keeping an eye on HUBC for a long-term investment? As always, do your own thorough research and ensure it aligns with your investment strategy. These stock plays are exciting, no doubt, but real wealth? That's built with a long-term strategy. And part of that strategy isn't just picking the right stocks, it's making sure your portfolio can withstand anything the market throws at it. Recent trade policies, including new tariffs, have introduced volatility into the markets, prompting investors to seek stable assets. That's exactly why gold has been a staple in portfolios for centuries. Gold has historically served as a reliable store of value during such times, with prices recently reaching record highs. It's one of the few assets that always has demand, no matter what happens in the economy. I've found a company that offers Americans a free guide that walks through exactly how to add real physical gold to their retirement accounts. No gimmicks, no obligations, just solid practical knowledge. Click the link in the description and grab your copy. Because the best investors don't just think about the next year, they plan for the next decade.